Hi, today we're going to talk about gut dysbiosis, probably one of my favorite subjects. Your digestive system is like a rainforest. To the degree it's an ecosystem all by itself. There's a buzzword coming out called microbiome, and it discusses and kind of gives you the idea there's an entire environment there. We actually have more intestinal bacteria and organisms living in our gut than we do cells in our entire body, and it has a tremendous effect, and one we're just now beginning to do some research and have appreciation for. Because the population of these bacteria do a lot of good things for us. They actually help synthesize certain vitamins and certainly break down fiber, so they give us fatty acids. So you need a good microbiome in order to get that accomplished. Your gut is some 80% of your immune system. It's not just about digesting your foods. So when you talk about immune or inflammation or those things affecting the body, the gut plays a huge role. In addition, more research has come out about how it's also the second brain. All the neurochemicals we make in our brain, we also make in our gut. And so as a result, if this microbiome is disruptive, we can begin to start having issues such as inflammation, and even as far as having issues with different kinds of emotional problems, whether it's depression or anxiety. So they exert a huge influence. Your microbiome begins at birth, ideally, and that's when you come down the vaginal canal. You actually pick up the bacteria. You get the microbiome of mom, for good, better, or worse. It begins there, and then environmentally, we're exposed to all kinds of bacteria when we're kids, picking things up, putting them in our mouth, breathing them in. So the microbiome is a kind of a collection of what we have from a good bacteria standpoint, and we begin to accumulate that. Unfortunately, there's also things that begin to happen as we go through life, not the least of which are things like antibiotics, perhaps at a young age for an earache, or we may get medication for some other kinds of reasons. And of course, those disrupt and kill many of the good organisms in the body, and sometimes that's in favor of the bad organisms. Dietarily, we don't pay attention to the things we eat. We eat too many refined carbohydrates and too much sugar that have a tendency to feed all the bad bugs. And so when the balance becomes disruptive, then the things that they normally can do and they should be doing is also disruptive. So we can begin to start having a host of different kinds of symptoms that go with that when we have these bacterial overgrowths or these yeast overgrowths of yet more and more unfriendly bacteria that tend to exist there. So the real key is to realize that it is a whole ecosystem, and we need to be able to support what's there. We talked about toxins and general environmental toxins on another tape, but really sometimes the detoxification really begins with your own digestive system, because everything that's absorbed from the gut, be it small or large intestine, the first place it goes is your liver. And unfortunately, the liver can become congested with the endotoxins being produced inside the body. So really taking care of your good bacteria through probiotics, and sometimes needing some help to get rid of some of the unwanted guests that have appeared there, are things that we tend to do here at LifeWorks. And getting your gut back on track is a huge, huge part of really regaining your health. Thanks.